The only way we had to travel was that way.
Would you go farther than Kaslo?
No.
Just to Kaslo. Kaslo was your main center.
Yeah. Kaslo. Oh, if we hadn't went any further than Kaslo, we thought it was great. We've been waiting town.
Well, if you went farther than Kaslo, you'd be gone a couple of days, I guess.
Oh yeah, we always managed to get to Kaslo on any further than that. We went on
The Moye,
the
or
yeah, the
some of the other ones,
Mhm.
some of the other boats.
Well, what kind of boat did you have? It was a rowboat, or?
Yeah, we had a rowboat for a long time, and then we had well, when the kids were growing up and we got out once in a while, we had a small boat then with my brother-in-law had a small boat. And then after we were married, we got a partly cabbed-in boat with a motor inside of it.
Little gas engine?
A big gas engine. It was a big gas engine, yeah. So,
That was Walter, who was your brother-in-law.
Walter was my brother.
Walter Gardner.
Walter Gardner.
Now, I was looking at the original land grants that were given to people in Johnson's Landing,
Mm-hmm.
and Walter got one of the original land grants in 1905,
Mm-hmm.
1906, I believe.
1906. Yeah, well, him and Alga Johnson was about the first two people that come in there. And they come in, of course, in rowboats. And they had to...
Thank you.
They came in rowboats. You mean
They came up the lake in rowboats.
from where? From Nelson?
Yeah, from Kaslo. They come up from Kaslo in the rowboats.
And they were just sort of looking around.
Mm-hmm.
They hadn't bought property ahead before they came. They
No, that was I don't know how he come to get the property, but it was in those years that he got the property.
Was he married to your sister then?
Yes. No, not then. Oh no. He didn't know him for years.
Do you remember when they got married?
No, actually, no.
you were still you were younger than your sister.
Oh yeah, I was a lot younger. Walter, I remember whenever he used to survey up the Elk River, and he was surveying up there, and then my sister Jenny used to go with him out surveying up there. And that time, the Elk River, all we had was dog teams.
Wow.
Just dog teams, and that was it.
Where's the Elk River? Do you know?
Out towards Cowley, Blairmore, Pincher Creek. And then on the outside of that again, what they call the Elk River.
Mm-hmm.
And he surveyed around Cowley, Lumber, Pincher Creek.
So he was a professional surveyor?
Well, he was one of the surveyors that was like now, the surveyors. Well, he was like one of us.
But then he decided to settle down and farm?
He wasn't too well. He had an awful lot of trouble with his gallbladder.
Well, surveying's a hard job.
Yeah.
But then starting a farm in Johnson's Landing would be a hard job.
It was. It was a hard job.
Because he had to have cleared?
Cleared everything. All they had was a cross-cut saw. Cross-cut saw it all down, and the horses and the stump pullers.
They had horses?
Well, you had to have horses.
Well, how would they get the horses there?
Up on the boat.
Was it the Moye at that time, or?
Yeah, it was the Moye and the Kuskonook. The Moye usually made the trip into the landing because it was, smaller boat and it could make the landings better. because it was years and years and years before they ever had the dock to go on to.
The boat came right to Gardner's Landing? Or did it
Yeah.
at first?
They come to Gardner's Landing, and then it was moved to what they called the Johnson's Landing around there.
Mm-hmm.
But our beach was the nicest beach, but they put a dock over there because it was more central.
When did they make that? When did they change that so the boat went to Johnson's Landing?
Oh, I don't know what year it was.
Is it after the war? After the First World War?
Yes, after the First World War.
You weren't here during the war, were you? You were in Alberta?
Part of the war I was here. Oh, yes. Yeah, I was here a good part of the war.
Well, when did you first come to live in Johnson's Landing?
1918.
1918.
Mm-hmm.
But you used to visit before then?
Yeah, I used to visit before. See, my dad died in 1918. And then we more or less left the home over there and come over to the landing to where I was.
And you moved in with your sister?
Yeah, I was with her. I was looking after her. Then after she died, why, then I had the baby to look after. And
That was Jenny and Walter's
Mhm.
baby, I
Jenny
didn't
Walters.
know.
yeah, they had a little girl,
What was her name?
Marguerite.
Martin.
So she was good. And then she died with inflammatory rheumatism.
What was that?
The inflammatory rheumatism.
Was she very young?
4 years old.
Oh,
No, thanks.
goodness. There in Johnson's Landing.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got her out to the hospital. We took her out to the hospital in a small boat. There's no other way to get her there. But we should have taken her before, because when we got her there, the rheumatism had got into her heart. And the heart was weak. And they never did build it up again.
Was there a good hospital in Kaslo?
Yes, it was a good hospital. They used to do operations there then.
Was the doctor there all the time? Or
Yeah, he was there all the time.
That was the old hospital, the Victorian hospital. Right.
Well, she was born in the Victoria Hospital.
Did people go in there for childbirth, or did they have?
Oh, yes.
Did some people have their babies here too?
No, they always try to get in.
Nobody had their babies born on the boat between Johnson's Landing and Kaslo?
There was one in Argenta, I believe. It was taken down quickly on the boat.
That must have been quite the excitement for the crew of the boat. Well, what did Johnson's Landing look like in 1918? There was no road to Argenta?
No road to Argenta. No, wasn't anything. Just a rowboat, just little trails.
And there were roads between people's homes, like
No.
between Gardner's and Johnson.
No. I don't know what year that was put in. That was put in.
So if you wanted to go visit,
Before I come over here to live, I was with my sister at the time, and I can remember the woman that cooked there that was making the roads. All they had was scrapers and horses, and
was it local people that made the roads?
yeah, it was just the local people. The people, foreman come in from Kaslo. This is Bruce. Mr. Bruce, he come in from Kaslo.
Who else was living there? Do you remember at that time?
Alka Johnson, Bill Holloway, when the road first came in. Or when they first come there, it was Alka Johnson and Bill Holloway and Walter Gardner.
Right. Did you ever know of a fellow named Garland?
Oh, yeah. Garland. I knew of him, but I didn't know him too awfully well, you know.
Like, did he live there?
No, he never lived there.
But he did own the land.
But he did own some land
The
in
land
there.
next to yours.
He owned that. Then there was a Milligan. Years after we got established in there, there was a Milligan and an ox come in. And they, Milligan had the place where Bill Wells has got it now.
Before Jones's.
Oh yeah, before
Right.
Jones's.
Uh-huh.
And then up the hill where McNichols lived, there was a Pogson up there. Mr. and Mrs. Pogson up on that way from McNichols' house. And that was long before McNichols come there.
So,
And then Waddup's come. Waddup's got it from McNichol. He got the place from McNichol.
did all these people come with the idea that they start an orchard? Was there a lot of orchards?
Yeah, they come with a big idea that they were going to have a wonderful orchard and everything was. You didn't have to buy anything, but you certainly had to work for your food you got.
Was that your idea, an orchard?
Well, there was. There was a big orchard there, both of them. The place where Alan's living now, and where Bill's living. They planted those trees there, cherries and apples. And then down where we lived, there was some more trees. But see, we had that place up where Alvin lived. That was actually the Ott place. And we got it from Ott.
They did the clearing and
Well, they had some men in to clear it.
they had men come in to clear it. Was that common?
Well, for them it was, because they didn't know anything about it. They had money to do it with, so they got some people, just some local people around there to help with it.
But most people didn't have the money for that, did they?
No.
Were there a lot of teams of horses in the landing, or just one?
No, just a few. We had a team, and I think that was about the only team there was.
So other people would borrow them, or would hire you to do things?
The thing we had did most of the work on the road.
What kind of horses were they?
Just light horses, just not too heavy horses. But we brought them in from the prairie. Over in Alberta.
Before you had horses and you had to do everything by hand? That must have been hard.
We had an awful lot of plowing, you know, with the plows and 2 horses on there.
Well, did you had hay fields as well as orchard?
Yeah, we had to have a bit of hay field because there was nothing else to raise the horses on but hay field. Then we got a cow and things built up a little bit more.
And you sold the fruit from your...
Yeah.
And then you actually ran the orchard that was up in Ott's land? That was your orchard?
Yeah. Yeah, we got that from the beginning.
And was that a pretty good way to make some money?
Yeah.
The orchard?
You got it then for practically very little.
Where did the fruit go? Nelson?
It was sent out to Nelson.
Was it sold as fresh fruit, or was it processed in a cannery? The fruit?
No, it was sold as fresh fruit. I don't know where actually after it got this. They sent it down into Nelson. I don't know what they did with it after that. Because we never got down to Nelson often enough to see it.
It went down on the boats?
It went down on a boat.
Did you have to pack it in special boxes and
Yeah, we had big apple boxes. Great big wooden apple boxes.
about 2 feet square?
Mm-hmm. Deep ones.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't any of these little paper cardboard boxes.
But where did you use the same boxes every year? Did they come back or
Oh no. No, we had to buy those in bulk, those boxes.
So you
That was years after that we, when we could buy the apple boxes.
I don't understand. You mean at first you didn't have apple boxes?
No, we didn't. We just didn't have enough food for apple boxes.
Oh, I see. So at first you just had the orchard for yourself,
Mhm.
and then you built it up.
Mm-hmm.
When did you start selling apples?
Well, actually, when we started selling apples, I don't know. You just don't keep track of things like this because it's just what
It
you
just
have.
happened.
Yeah.
You just have to do.
Mm.
Like, was it before the war, or?
Oh, yeah, some of those before the war.
Uh-huh.
Then we went down to Lindsay that was there at the nickel place.
Mhm.
Well, he used to ship an awful lot of apples out.
Mm.
He come down one night with it was after the rapers settled down there too at the dock. Rapers come in from Alberta, from Maycroft, Alberta, and they run the post office over in Alberta. And then they come to Johnson's Landing, and then they had the post office there. So that was wonderful when we had the post office because we had nothing there before. So then we built it up, and he was able to get his post office license, and we started out with a post office.
Mm.
And Lindsay, he was down there one time with his one-horse buggy, and he had it loaded up with apples, and the apples went out on the Moyer, and then a horse, and then he was going to pick up his apple boxes and come in.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be a bunch of apple boxes loosely, in packs. And then he went out and went down to get those apple boxes that come in, and his horse started to back up and wouldn't go ahead. Just back up, and he backed right up and opened the water. She come running up to the post office where we're standing there waiting to get our mail, and she says, "Mr. Lindsay's gone into the water." Wait a minute. Enough water.
The cart and the horse and everything all
Cart
in
and the
water.
horse and everything in the water.
I trust they got him out all right.
Yeah. Yeah, they got him out all right.
Did a lot of people come from Alberta at the landing?
No, well, quite a few. I don't know where Albert lived. I don't know where he lived before he come to the landing.
Mm-hmm.
That was his home when I seen him, was at the landing.
Was he married, Albert?
No, never.
And no children?
No, never. I know Alga Carlson could tell you where it was his place, but I couldn't.
Mm.
Because Alga Carlson married a relative of his, and that's how they come to live at the landing years ago. Because Alga sort of handed it over to Eric Carlson. And Eric Carlson built a house down, that's right, too.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He built a house down there. And then before they built that house, they lived in the old Elga Johnson house.
Everyone built log cabins, I guess.
Everybody built log houses then because we didn't know what else it was.
When did you get the first sawmill or cut boards in the landing for a house?
Well, I don't know. It wasn't too many years ago. It was after Alvin and Roy was born. They built it.
When you would build a house, would people work together on it, or was it a family thing?
No. Well, the barn and the house we built was just our own work.
Mm-hmm.
Those great big logs that's in that barn, you could make two houses of it now.
Have you seen? I heard it's enormous.
Huge.
Yeah.
Did they come right off the land around?
Right off the land that was around there. And then they put skids up when they got the floor made, and then they put skids up and kept. Then they'd hook a horse out. Maybe if the log was too big, they'd hook a horse out and cables out that horse would help pull the log up on these skid loads. But it wasn't too big and heavy and hard to work. Hard work.
Did anyone always hear stories about English people coming green from Britain all the way out to the Kootenays with the visions of a beautiful orchard? Were there any people like that that came right from England to the landing?
No. Albert Johnson, I guess, was the furthest because he was down in Sweden. And then there was a Stenberg, too, that lived there in the early years.
Did people from the landing travel up to Argenta and up this way, up to Duncan and the Lardo much for anything?
Well, some of them thought they had find gold mines up here, but those gold mines were far and few between.
Were there people that prospected from the landing?
Yeah, there were some people prospected from the landing.
Who did that?
Well, up the Duncan Lake there, after, not too many years ago, why they were up there prospecting. Jim McNichol was one of them. Up around Maud Haley's place up in there.
It's Maud Haley.
Maud Haley.
I don't know who she is.
Well, she lived way up there past the Duncan River.
Who was she?
Just a little woman that lived up in there. I guess at one time she had, years and years ago, and she lived up beyond the Duncan River there then. And she had a little place up in there, and I can remember them telling me about Maud Haley and her living alone up there with a little mule she had.
Was she a prospector?
No, she was just living in there. Well, I suppose she did some prospecting of her own. And then she was taken out down to Hauser for a while there, and then she was taken from Hauser down to Kaslo.
Well, there's Haley's Landing up there.
Haley's Landing.
Was that her place?
That was her place.
Was she married ever?
No, she never was married.
Well, that's where the old steamboats used to stop at.
It was at Haley's Landing.
And the creek named after her, too. Isn't that something?
That's where they went up to see if there was any more of that gold mine up in there. They never did find it.
Well, Walter wasn't a prospector?
Yes, he was.
Was he?
But he wasn't able to do too much of that in the later years. He was pretty badly crippled up with his operations or one thing or other.
Well, would he go off at some parts of the year for a week or two to prospect?
No, mostly just to get out in the mountains to go prospecting and a little bit of hunting.
What time of year would he go?
But he went trapping mostly up Tri Creek. That was his main thing in the wintertime, was trapping up Tri Creek. He liked to go up there and trap. Did
he have a cabin up there?
Yeah, he used to have cabins up there. he said to Bill Holman was up there too, but they had different trapping lines. I don't know how, just different ways that they had to buy these trapping lines.
Mm-hmm.
So they met up with each other coming down the creek. And Walter said to Bill, he said, I think you better cut a slice out of that ice there, you'll slide down in it. And Bill said, oh no, we won't bother. Because we can get across. So he was ahead, and he stepped on this ice, and down he went into the canyon. Bloop. Into the lake. Into the big rapids there where they weren't sealed up, you know. They were running too fast to freeze over. And he slid down in there. And he was a big man. And Walter was a small man. And he had to go down there and drug him back up again. He hurt his knee very badly. Cut his face a few spots. So then he finally got him down after quite an hours. He got him down to the lakeshore, and he put him in the little cabin down at Fry Creek, where what they used to call Fry Creek little cabin down there. And he left him there, and then he had to row up home and get his trapper's clothes off and his shelf saved up, and then he rowed back down that same night and took him out of the cabin and put him in a rowboat and rowed him to town.
Kaslo.
Kaslo to the house.
Was he all right?
Oh yes, he was all right. It was just a struggle for a small man to do such a thing, you know.
You were there then? You were living there?
Living at the landing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He never made a claim? Walter never had claims?
Yeah, after my husband, after we were married and he come up there, they claimed up Fry Creek.
Mm-hmm.
They had claims up in the Fry Creek area. But that wasn't too many years ago. Because we were married in 1925.
Mm-hmm. But that's when Stanley, he came just before then.
And he come before then.
1925.
Mm-hmm. That night was a long, hard, cold night.
So
And
with Bill being wounded.
Bill.
Holmgren?
Holmgren.
Holmgren.
How do you spell that?
Bill Holmgren.
It's just the fellow who got the original land grant there is Holmgren.
Mm-hmm.
He got one of the original land grants.
Yeah. That was above McNichol. Up there where McNichol lived.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
I think he had that land grant up there where that house is built now. That big tall house that takes pictures. Or she's a drawer.
Is that, what's his name, Alvin?
Because above that, even according to the maps that I saw, it was above Jim's and.
Yeah, it was a way up there. Way up top of the, I guess his land ended up at the top of the back of the mountain there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What did he do up there? He didn't clear and.
No. He did some clearing. But actually, I don't know what he did do, because he didn't live there as much as what the rest of them did. He was out in, and then he got into the forestry building, and he was working with a forestry. He was a forestry for that district.
What forestry building?
Manager.
Over in Kaslo, you mean?
Yeah, so he used to manage the, like, whenever he was called out for fires, he lived at the landing there then.
Did they have a building at the landing?
No, he never. He just his own shed. He worked for the forestry.
Were there a lot of fires in those years, early years, between the wars?
Some, but not too awful many. Not too often great.
There wasn't a lot of logging going on then, was there? Not
No.
like today.
No, they didn't. They didn't have the machine to log with, and they certainly weren't going to log with the crosscut saw.
There must have been some logging, I guess.
There was
for
some logging.
Did anyone sell lumber?
No, we sold in the cart loads. What they did mostly was make railroad.
The ties?
The
wooden
ties. Uh-huh.
For the CPR?
Yeah, and they sent those out on the barges that used to push the boat up.
Well, of course, they'd already built the railway. There was a railway from Lardo to Girard already, so the ties were going just away.
There is a railroad right out here. This here highway here now is a railroad.
Did you ever ride on it?
Yeah. Yeah, we used to go by hand cars on there.
Go over to Lardo and get on the train?
No, yeah, we went over to Lardo and got on the train. When the train went up, we did, but well, we didn't go up on the train. I think there was once that we went all the way up on the train.
Up to Ethel Lake.
But the rest of the time, they went, they had a little hand car that they'd come up here to Meadow Creek with and catch some fish. At that time, it was Meadow Creek. The redfish was coming up, and they didn't have this spawning business or anything. They just let them do their own. Well, then people used to come up and catch the fish, and that was their own.
And then you bring them home, and what would you do with them?
Well, they'd salt them down, can them, and pick them up like they do now.
Yeah.
Well, the hand cars belong to the railway company?
No, Archie Greenlaw was one of the men that run the hand car from Largo.